Good evening. I'm calling the meeting of the Board of Directors of the Gary Public Transportation Corporation to order. We will stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. It's behind you. Oh, there's several flags here, right?
We waiting for somebody to start.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. For the record, the Board of Gary Public Transportation Corporation hereby certifies for the record that an executive session was held prior to the meeting pursuant to IC 5-4-1.5.6.1B. We certified that the items discussed were related to information concerning issues that were posted on our executive session notice. Roll call, please.
President Hewlett.
Yes, present.
Secretary Goffin.
Present.
Member Ruby.
Present.
Member Robinson.
Present.
Member Scott Hendry.
Excused.
Member McKenzie.
Present.
Member Tolbert.
Excused.
We have 5 present, 2 absent, 2 excused, excuse me. We have a quorum.
We have a quorum. We will go to item number 2. Approval of the board meeting minutes dated July 10th.
So moved, Madam Chair.
It's been moved and properly second that we accept the minutes, board minutes dated August 7th, 2025. Are there any questions or discussion to the motion? There being none, roll call, please.
President Hewlett.
Yes.
Secretary Goffin.
Yes.
Member Ruby.
Yes.
Member Robinson.
Yes.
Member McKenzie.
Yes.
And Member Robinson, sorry. We have 5 votes, 5 yeses.
Motion is passed. Item number 3, approval of the GPTC general check register schedules dated August 1st through August 31st, 2025.
I move that the general check register is dated August 1st to 31st, 2025 be approved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second that we approve GPTC general check register schedules for August 1st through August 31st, 2025. Are there any discussions, any questions to the motion? There being none, roll call.
President Hewlett.
Yes.
Secretary Goffin.
Yes.
Member Ruby.
Yes.
Member Robinson.
Yes.
Member McKenzie.
Yes.
We have 5 yeses.
Motion approved. Item number 4, approval of the Metro Center check register schedule.
I move that the Metro Center check register schedule dated August 1st to the 31st be approved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second that we accept the Metro Center registers for August 1st through August 31st. Are there any questions? Any discussion to the motion? There being none, roll call.
President Hewlett.
Yes.
Secretary Goffin.
Yes.
Member Ruby.
Yes.
Member Robinson.
Yes.
Member McKenzie.
Yes.
5 yeses.
The motion is approved. We're at item number 5, General Manager's Departmental Reports. Mrs. Dillard, would you please take the floor?
Thank you, President Hewlett. Good evening, board members, and thank you. We have had a very busy month. We've had a lot of infrastructure issues. So I just want to make sure that the board is aware, always. We have them. This is a 40-year-old building. Its second birthday is coming up October the 5th, and it will be 41 years old. So we are fortunate that a lot more hasn't happened. I want to knock on wood. But the other part of that is we have been methodically looking at how to repair it and working with the city because this is their building. And we want to make sure that we are looking at the best ways and safest ways to ensure that all people coming in here are protected. And why is that an issue? Because we have 90-something to 100-degree weather and our air conditioning went out. And the air conditioning went out on predominantly the second and third floor. It was uncomfortable, obviously, but the second floor was able to have some air conditioning. So we tried to work with situations, but after a while, we found that we needed to just move the staff, make sure everybody was safe, and that's the decision that was made. We are working on it. We have been working with the city, but one of the things, and as finance and myself are working with this, just look at how we can best do it. There's things that are constantly moving. So if you're changing one item, oftentimes something else needs to be changed. You know, as you put in something new, and it is not, the existing structure is not strong enough to handle the new item. And so something else may go out. So this has been an unexpected cost, but it is not something that is coming straight from GPTC. We do have the Metro account, and we are using that as our building repair as much as possible and working with the city on that. Along with that, we've had some good news, and I'll share just a tad so that the department heads can really bask in this a little bit. We've had lots of things going on with our operations and a lot of successes that we've been working on for a long time. So you'll hear in today's reporting, everything from fleet to infrastructure on things that have actually changed and are giving us some positive feedback. A lot of what I've done this month is getting with our budgets. As you know, it is budget time. And so we've been meeting with the Lake County Council. We've been talking with our commissioners. We've been working with nursing. We had a number of things working with the grants and consolidating the grants with Region 5. And we have had success on all of them, maybe not the way we wanted to on some of them, but in none of them were we denied the need for change or consolidation. We've moved forward. So it takes a while for all those things to come to fruition, but we continue to work with that. In terms of the funding, we have had conversations with everyone from the president of the Lake County Council, meeting with President Christine Sid was a pleasure. There was a lot of information shared from both of us, including what we can do to continue to help the region grow economically. Lots of times people don't understand the federal responsibility to what is a local match. So we've had the opportunity to do that with a number of our conversations to talk about our local match and the federal dollars that can go into that. Along with that, in the planning, we've had pieces as far out as Whiting that we have started routes. The corporations is looking at various things. As you know, we have been asked to do some things for the Gary Community School Corporation in working with their bus transit. They have gotten that information, and that will be shared, we think probably by our director, Mr. Stewart, who was working with them and has worked with that situation for many years and opportunities that are there. It is also a big piece of working with the foundations now. So as your areas are looking at where is the funding, things that have been reduced, where are the makeups on those fundings coming from? There's a lot of corporate needs. A lot of the corporations are coming in contact with us. Why? Because we are the accessibility. we are getting you to your destination. And so we want to continue growing that theme and making sure that we are consistent with that. Finance has been continually working on the audit, making sure that with Crow, we are on point. We did get our budget submitted on time. And so that was a good thing for Mr. Washington's team and Ms. Miller, our contractor, working with audit as well. So we appreciate their diligence. And certainly with human resources, there's always a lot going on. So everything from activities to make sure that our employees are staying healthy. And that is a very big deal. So for our new board members, we want you to understand that, there was a period of time where we only had 10% of the employees using their health benefits. We're now over 90%, and part of that is, and I give a lot of credit to our HR exec. Mr. Dion Dennis works constantly with getting information out on how to take care of yourself. If you've got free breast cancer, if you've got free prostate, exams, making sure that our employees are taking advantage of that. Making sure that they're checking their hypertension, looking at blood pressure. And whether one likes to talk about it or not, just can't eat chicken fried every day. You just can't do it. So we try to involve also eating healthier, and mixing other things there. And so we sponsor that a lot of times. Mr. Kane has bought dinner for his staff and the operators, and we try to get a healthier feel on the foods. Yes, we do that. So we want to make that something that we continue. We had a very good response for our interaction with our youth, and we've talked about that. We want to make sure that we are training youth that there's careers in transportation, that this is not just something you see on the bus and that's it. We've been talking a lot to the communities about the advertising and how it is advertised. We have gotten Calumet College their bikes, and we're still delivering bikes. So that's a good thing, but we want to make sure that all of this is used on the campus and all of it is also marked to see that we are that good corporate partner as well. So we stay cognizant of the time. We want to make sure we can go through, if there's not any specific questions for me at this time, we'll start with the directors. And if I can start with finance, let's talk a little bit about where you are, Mr. Washington.
Why did you say I need to stand?
It's up to you.
Good afternoon, Madam President, board members, and the attorney. I first will start by asking, did you have time to read the budget financial report in your packages? Should have been submitted in your package. And I'll first start by asking you, do you have any questions concerning that report? Okay. If not, I'll go over the report and explain to you what's in your package. First of all, we want to start at the top of the report and talk about the revenue section of the report. That's at the very top. During the month of July, we collected $763,646. That, of course, is under the budgeted amount of $1,277,308 based upon the 2025 budget as it was initially put together. That means for the month of July, we are 55% under what was originally budgeted in terms of revenue scheduled to collect. That occurred because if you notice, the largest collection was from our federal grant, $629,406, and refunds and reimbursements were $110,677. Now, let me explain that refund and reimbursement, which is a number you should ask questions about, but that came from Greyhound. reimbursing us for our, security cost.
Mhm.
But that is a large reimbursement. That was over several months, okay? So between the two, the grant reimbursement and the Greyhound funding, that represented 97% of the revenue collected for the period, in terms of what was collected overall. Now, the rest of the revenue came from our program income, which is our fare box advertising and ADA revenue for the month. And compared to the other two, I said that's minuscule in numbers. That's the other 3% of the revenues that we collected in July. Now, on a year-to-date basis, even though we're 55% under for the month, we're only 34% down for the year. And that's because in past reporting periods, we've collected our PMTF money, which was $918,923 for the year. And likewise, property taxes for the first 6 months of the 25 operating period, we collected $869,988. That, of course, brought our deficit down in terms of where we stand with collecting actual revenues against budgeted revenues for the period. Now, if we move down to the bottom half of the statement where we want to talk about expenditures, our total expenditure for the period was $371,000. Well, that's the budget. $753,203 against the budget again of $1,277,000. That is our expenditures are below what we budgeted. So that means we didn't overextend. We were 41% in terms of expenditures below what we budgeted. So we're not spending more money than we actually are taking in based upon what the budget said. On a year-to-date basis, even though that was 41% in the current period, it's reduced to 30% in the year-to-date period. And the projected deficit at this point, where our revenues, our expenses will exceed our revenue, is $325,701. Now, you may ask the question, how do we afford that? How are we going to finance that deficit? Well, what's reflected here is the current operating situation for the current period. We had assets on hand at the beginning of the year that will absorb this deficit. In other words, we roll over cash amounts that were sufficient to absorb the deficit, and that's how we finance the overage at this point in time. The next phase of our report deals with our accounts payable and our aging schedule. For the month of July, we had $371,335 of invoices that were paid. Of that amount, we had $218,140 less than 31 days old, and 30 to 59 days, we had $30,362. That comprises 67% of our debt for the period. The remaining 33% is our disputed account, which is $122,000 this heritage. So what this report reflects is that we are current with our bills, which sustains our good credit rating. I'll entertain any questions that the board may have on this.
Thank you, Mr. Washington.
Well,
Thank you, Mr. Washington. Okay, I'm going to ask a question here with President Hewitt. Did you want to hear anything at this time regarding procurement, or should we table that until you have to?
Yeah, we need to take that.
All right, so we'll move forward to HR, please. Mr. Dennis.
Good evening, Board Chair and Board members.
Good evening, Mr. Dennis.
As Ms. Dillard stated earlier, HR stays busy. So in light of that, I decided to share some of the exciting things that we did in the month of August. First, we had, with the assistance of former Board Secretary, Mr. Emmanuel, and Mr. Ben Barnes and his team, we had our annual financial wellness lunch and learn. During which we welcomed some new vendors, which was well received and had a positive response from the attendees. The other thing, we have promoted 2 employees from within. Mr. Curtis was promoted from dispatcher to maintenance coordinator, and Ms. Washington was promoted from procurement clerk to accounts payable and payroll clerk. In addition, we have interviewed and selected an employee to promote from our operator to fill that dispatch spot. The third thing we did, we're currently working on our end of the quarter we do a quarterly birthdays and anniversaries recognition event. So that will be held September the 29th. It's a Monday at 1 o'clock. It's gonna be 1 o'clock at both locations. So if you're close to the 35th, you can stop by there or you can stop by here. We'll have the same things at both locations going on. It's just a placard acknowledging everybody's birthday. So it has a little desserts and some food. And just showing employees that we do appreciate their being here. And we also, with the assistance of Board Secretary, Ms. Pat Scott, we successfully organized our annual Employees, Family, and Friends outing at the Railcats game on August the 31st. The event featured engaging conversations, a variety of food options, and a spectacular fireworks display. I'm a fireworks person, so
It was nice.
drove me
It was
crazy.
very nice.
That's the report I have. Any questions?
Are there any questions? I'd like to commend Ms. Scott and Mr. Dennis because it was a fantastic event. And if you didn't come, you just missed it. And maybe you can try next year. But I'm like Mr. Dennis, the fireworks were absolutely beautiful. And like I said, the conversations were very interesting. And I know I had a good time. So please, if you could next year, if you didn't make it this year, make an effort to try next year. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think the big noted thing that people were talking about was the fact that we were in a suite,
Yes.
and so the whole organization, you don't just split up and put some people in a suite. Everybody was in the suite. And I think that brought about a real camaraderie of everyone feeling that they really had a night out at the park. So thank you very much. You guys did a great job. All right, let's go to IT. You want to talk to us a little bit about all that's going on?
Okay, I apologize. I'm listening to us twice on the live stream in here, so 3 second delay. This did not make it into your board report, so I'm handing these out. IT had an interesting month, to say the least. We had a couple of storms that kind of took out our system. So we are back up and running. We have identified a network engineer, so we should be able to get things, fine-tuned. This location is communicating well, and we've identified some problems in the system, legacy problems that we will be correcting in the matter of the next 2 weeks. Gen Fair is on schedule to be up and running this month. They're on schedule. They should be contacting me by the end of next week to come in and do the updates to the buses. Once these updates are done, we should have internet, Wi-Fi, a full system that can take all payment processes, whether it be Apple Pay, Android Pay, you name it. Also, I was able to get staff back onto the website so that they can update. So the website has been updated so that it can be updated from within. I am also working on a rebuild in the background. So hopefully by the time Jennifer is delivered, I'll be able to deliver updates to the background of the website, putting that online. And that's pretty much been the month as a whole. It's just been kind of troubleshooting, getting things in places. We've installed a new firewall. We're looking to install a new firewall on 35th. So our cybersecurity will be strengthened. We are going, instead of right now, things were kind of piecemeal. So we're just orchestrating everything so that it's all condensed where you can know where everything is, and troubleshooting will be a lot quicker. 365 has been updated. So I do implore everyone to contact me if you do not know how to access 365. If you don't know how to access your emails and things like that, I will help you with that. And also some usage, because I'm finding that there are some usage questions that a lot of people don't have, because we're used to email and everything when we can simply share things. So that is the update for IT.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And you got some new equipment, didn't you, for staff?
Oh, yes.
I was curious.
We got, so
Signing something.
we also got 6 new laptops that are being distributed to staff so that if need to work remotely, they will be able to work remotely. I think we have a laptop for our road supervisors and things of that nature.
How many do you have on your staff? Working with you? How many do you have on your staff?
I'm for IT.
Yeah.
I'm a staff of 1.
Wait.
And so we all want to hire him, right?
About a super staff.
Don't you need more help?
It would, well, that's where the
Answer,
engineers.
answer careful.
That's where the engineers come
Let
in.
me put, have you requested more help?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, and although we're kind of smiling about it, that is the one thing that people don't understand here that's happening. You know, you have Mr. Dennis as an exec who's a staff of 1. You know, there are no, I mean, he's one person handling all the HR in this corporation. So you've got, again, IT staff of 1, planning staff of 1, marketing staff of half. We don't have a full-time marketing person. So what you have is a lot of innovation. When they ask, how did we save $900,000 in our budget? We looked at tools, not people. We decided that we needed to look at your tools and see if we got this with ADP, it might cut out 2 jobs. However, we got that without additional payment because we bought the package. So you saved about $200,000 with benefits and all of that as well. It's not wanting to eliminate people, but when you don't have the cash, but you've got to make sure certain things happen, then we got a loyal staff who says, we get it. We've got to do business. And so as we grow, everybody here needs staff. Right now, you've got, GM is also partly responsible for safety. And that is because FTA said that's how it has to be. No one else will be able to do that but the GM. So those are the things that we continue working through, but we want to make sure that our fleet is what it should be. Because without that, none of us are needed. If you don't have buses on the street. Thank you very much for that question. Thank you, Mr. Curtin. And with that, that's a segue into the operation.
I have a bad ankle, so I'm not gonna be able to stand. I'm gonna do a microphone. You guys hear me?
A lot.
Microphone check, 1, 2. Okay. All right, that's for operations. As always, we've had a busy month of July. But currently speaking, we had several projects going on. We had the lighting project in which they came in and within a matter of 3 or 4 days completed the process. Walked through. I mean, it was like the sun was sitting in the ceiling. I mean, from that perspective and physically working here as a mechanic in the early 2010s or whatever, it was no light. We thought that it was normal for you to have a spotlight on you. It was normal to up until the time until like a couple weeks ago. Thought it was normal, even the mechanics working then. For us to be able to actually work in a spot, we got sufficient overhead lighting was amazing. I mean, that's not to say one thing bad or another good. But bottom line is that we're fortunate that now that we know we can see some things. You know, Ms. Dillon and I took a walk around and she was in amazement too. She thought we were gonna have to paint the entire facility and we realized, no, the walls are clean. But hey, we found out. And then on a more important note from a transportation perspective, we did divide one of the routes with 2 vehicles, and one for Calumet College, the R6, the R4 on a Hammond run where they're going back south toward to the ridge, to Walmart. Right, so we took it and we made it into two different routes, and with drivers and everything on it. But the problem we've had for a while now was that actual keeping up with the ridership based on the fact that Mr. Burton just stated that he got that problem handled with Gen Fair. They said they're gonna be here by in the next week. You'll know specifically when they come so they can update the system. From a maintenance perspective, and I want to say this because typically a lot of times when people speak of a transportation business, they only see the outside focus, which is the operators. They're the head of the company. They're the face of the company.
Mm-hmm.
But no one ever talks about the mechanic. With 4 mechanics, and I mean, and this is being honest, a lot of the average driver don't know when they drive out in the vehicle, they don't know that the reason why they getting the check because these 4 people is taking care of 20 pieces of equipment that's running like the chickens with their head cut off. And I'm just gonna say openly, Adam Davis, Aaron McReynolds, David Boston, Antoine Williams. Them 4 guys has been truly a blessing to GPTC, whether people know it, don't know it, whatever the situation, even from the perspective of when some drivers are here all day long. Their own vehicles, they have issues. They'll go in the parking lot, they will bring the vehicle in and they'll fix it. A lot of people don't have that type of service where they work. It's just whenever they get an opportunity to do it, or they break down in the street. And just cleaning that up, because if I have to say my favorite craft is because I'm a mechanic. So from that perspective, I enjoy the daily talks we have. We'll be having conversations, and people standing around us will have no clue what we're talking about, but we know what we're talking about. And there's some learning going on. You know, we may say things like mechanics say, but that's no story. But however, it's been so much. So it's amazing what 4 vehicles can turn around your entire route sheet. Isn't that right, David? And what I mean to say that is, so for a while we have been in every staff meeting making sure that we're saying, hey, look, you know, we get vans and we get this. Well, we had a delay on the vans that we had at the last year. They'll be here now, I guess, in the mid-September, I believe. But we had the opportunity to go out to NERC and participate in the auction and able to bid on several vans. And to my surprise, I was the only person there. So with that being said, we were able to purchase several vans that was in very pristine shape. And we put out on the street today. And it made a difference, a huge difference, and cleared the entire board. So from that perspective, from an equipment perspective, it's gonna allow us, because by November, we'll have actually 11 new pieces of equipment. And from that perspective, it's allow us to sincerely do predictive maintenance and do the things that we've been trying to do for the longest, but the lack of equipment haven't allowed us to do so. So from that perspective, get that together, and I'm very happy about that. I'm very pleased with these men. So Ms. Dillard, I told her, I said, it hasn't been a behind setting the seats. And she was like, yep, so is this stuff. They're doing that clean. So, and then the operators pleased as well. So that's it for operations. I am sorry to talk so long. Anybody have a question?
I had a question.
Okay,
How's the electric buses working out for us?
so, okay. We have 2 of them up and operating every day. And okay, well, from, I would say dating back to maybe October, we had 4 down. We figured out what the issues was. We actually had Gilly come out. We shared some information, and we figured out what was wrong with 2. We still got 2 is down. From the perspective of the electrics, typically, with inclement weather or too hot, too cold, they don't work. And when you push them, and that's what we figured out in running the buses on specific routes. When the route is too long, you're pushing, and you're throwing them back on the charger real quick, and you're doing these things that we studied. We didn't have the number of people to be able to switch out the buses. We was running primarily on the best. It went fine, but even when Gilly came out to look at the buses, it said, y'all know y'all have the most knowledge of any electric that we've seen in any system. And we took a note because they were getting beat up. And that's what myself and Mr. Warren made a decision on how we were running from the perspective of when we were running locally. And it actually made a big difference. When I say locally, I'm thinking about, got our West 6 route, which is the L1, go down West 6, go down Grant corridor, and you got, at times, we would put it on the L3, and we'll put one on the L4. Reason being is the lack of CDLs until we start the training program. Those are, each of those routes come back to the facility, so if they need a charge, they'll make it back to the next and switch out and get another bus. So that has helped us tremendously, in fact, in light of the manpower, lack of manpower, or lack of skill of the manpower. Other than that, I would say, if I'm gonna be nice, I'll say maybe a medium effect from an electric perspective. We got plans, because I believe it's in the works for 2 more, but we got a better plan. We've been talking about it in staff meetings the last couple of weeks. So I'm comfortable with that plan myself. Hopefully that will work.
Are you guys running into any ECM, power control modular computer issues in these electric buses?
We are.
A lot of them?
Yes, in fact, they've had so many updates and recalls. In fact, the problem with 2 of them, right? Well, actually 3 of them is the ECM, the wiring harness. They keep going bad.
Where?
Pumps
Where are the parts coming from on those? Do you know?
specifically from Gilly, right? From Gilly. I believe they're getting paid overseas.
Let me rephrase. Where are the parts manufactured?
Overseas.
Okay. Do we know where overseas?
I think it's China. Don't quote me. Any other questions? All right, that's the end of mine. If nobody else have any questions, I'll turn it back over to Gilly.
I would like Mr. Stewart, Mr. Burns to address a couple of things in terms of school, please.
Good afternoon, Madam President and fellow board members. For the last 3 years, we have been in contact with the school system, trying to work with the school system. So now we got together, we are working together. They have students, Westside, the only high school in the area. So you got students in Maryville, not Maryville, but Glen Park, Miller, East Side, West Side. So the way it's 32 of them right now, but they got more, they're growing. To where we got them set up to where they can go catch our buses to West Side. But they all bought bus passes from the company and everything. So I got with Mr. Garcia over at West Side, the transportation coordinator, and we coordinated and got together to where I gave him a list of, he gave me a list of all the people that ride his buses, and I gave him a list of where they catch him at, what bus, what time, so they can get all by 8 o'clock. They go for 3 hours in the morning, one group, and there's another group, there's a special groups they got. They go for 3 hours in the morning, and another group come in for 11:45 to 3:45 in the evening. It's just vice versa what they do. They catch my L2 bus, L3, my L2, L3, L4, the Broadway Express, and the R3. Them the 5 buses they catch every day. They take them straight to the school. When they come out of school at a certain time, we have a bus sitting at West Side, a regular route bus that sits at West Side, for 5 to 10 minutes for them to come out of school, run them out of what our schedule is, and they come out, get on the bus, and then they go back to the metro, and then they do the vice versa to get back home out of the And that's what they was trying to do over the last couple of years, and we finally got together to get this did.
Very good. That is a clap. Working with those situations is again, part of our community interest is working on truancy. And if the issue of truancy is we missed the bus. So moms at work, dad's at work, nobody's at the house to get them back to school, so they go home. So part of one of the raps we wanted to put on the bus is, miss an hour, not a day. Get your education. Take us, we'll get you there. And that's one of the raps that we're going to do for some of those buses that are rough, going that way, because we want to get that message out that we are an option to that child missing school.
Can we work on maybe some marketing or fact sheet about that? There's another organization that allows students from other communities to attend communities outside of theirs to the south. So maybe if we expand that a little bit more and some federal funding.
That'd be great. And accessibility is the key word to the expansion, as we talked about in the executive session, that a lot of what we're doing is looking at expanding to some of the rural areas. And that's because that's where the funding's being placed. And so we have to make sure that we can make that scope, make that jump in the scope of business. I want to also say something to the operation team regarding the vehicles and the mechanics. Thank you for that, because it has been very difficult to run these buses as long as we run the buses on a daily basis. And ever since I've gotten here, just imagine, no one had in the paper anything about us being down. But we know that there were a limited amount of buses. The board knows there was a limited amount of buses on the road, and they were hustling. The directors were driving buses. The ability to rest a bus is extremely important. So when we're talking to Lake County government about their asking, and it was actually Commissioner Tippy, who we talked to about looking at putting something out there for a turnaround out in Crown Point, and that bus could be actually put a charger there, get it charged up, and take it off after that. Let's bring that one back in to rest, or whatever, the plan is. It is not to run it to death. And that's what happens. You run your racehorses till they get so tired that they no longer function. And that's what we've discovered even with the buses we just got. I mentioned this to the people. You mentioned about the mileage being so high. One of the things that Mr. Kane showed me, same buses, same years as ours. We've got 350,000 miles in ours. They've got 100,000, at the same period of time.
Question for operations, are these buses using DEF at all with the electrical systems?
No.
No, okay, all right,
We use it with our.
okay. So is there a reset system on these buses?
There it's a dual from a perspective of if it ultimately shuts down, there's a kill switch in the rear, but it kills it for days. And then
Okay.
when it come back up, there's no telling when it comes.
Okay, so there's no actual reset for the power modules or anything? No? Okay.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. Wright, I'm so sorry. You were totally on my back. I looked over my left and right, didn't turn around, so I didn't
blind
see.
spot.
I am sorry, please.
No problem. wanted to start by reminding everyone, and this is something we'll be promoting with enhanced marketing. All of the schools that are transit accessible, there is a map on our website that shows how to get to those schools. Basically, every school that's within 2 or 3 blocks of any route on the system. And once we have gotten our marketing program back up and running, more social media posts, we'll be reminding people of resources like this. So I'll show it to you after the meeting, but it is on the website, and we've updated it for this school year because last year we were barely running in Hammond and Whiting, but now we're running hourly service as Mr. Kane mentioned. So I wanted to start with ridership. Slightly down from July of last year was our July ridership for this year. However, our preliminary data for August of this year, I'm trying not to use too many superlatives, but our preliminary mobile data is showing at least a 25% increase in ridership from July to August. And that's not including the free service that was provided for the air show. We had free service on our regular system, and then our shuttle service, which is public, so it counts. We probably carried about 1,000 riders at least on air show Saturday for that shuttle, and probably at minimum half that on air show Sunday. So we're going to have a substantial increase in ridership for August of this year. Marketing and outreach, there are 2 contracts that are under legal review, and the contractors are raring to go. So as soon as we can get, as is Ms. Dillard, raring to go in terms of getting the word out on what we're doing, on the service changes, on what we've already been doing, we'll get that started. I created a virtual map of those service changes that you approved last year, and that will become publicly available once we start getting the public information campaign out there for that. The Lakeshore changes that you approved, those were launched and went live on August 18th. Preliminary data, again, this is the mobile data we've got, showing at least an 85% increase in ridership on those routes. So, yeah. Going further, just talking about grants briefly, we closed out and submitted our Section 5339 capital grant. That's about $1 million. I just got the Amalgamated Transit Union authorization, their co-signature on our grant. So that should be executed, Michael and Brian, within a matter of a week or so. We completed our quote unquote super grant, which has some operating money at 80% federal. That'll be submitted to the feds officially probably in late September, early October, but the grant is completed. The issues that we had with the highway money we were flexing over, NERC fixed that. So all that's taken care of. And most importantly, this has all of our money old and new. So we're not going to get pinged by the federal government for lapsing funds anymore. This has everything in it. Lastly, as Mr. Kane mentioned, we are reactivating that Volkswagen grant. We had a meeting with Drive Louisiana and with Gillig, and we're hoping to have a purchase order ready to order 2 more electric vehicles by the end of this month. Having more vehicles, both electric and diesel, means in addition to service reliability, which is very important for ridership and for basically not just paying drivers to sit, but to actually drive the buses. It also means that those electric vehicles that we do have will have the opportunity to be fully recharged and not be on the street all the time. So the problem we've been having is the lack of spare vehicles. When you've got spare vehicles, and we will be getting spare vehicles even more later on this year, that means those buses and other buses will have the ability to go through their PMs properly and to not be the workhorses that they've been the past couple of years. So that means service reliability for our vans and our buses. Lastly, wanted to thank IT for giving us the ability to start to update our website. We were able to update it with the schedules that we just adjusted, updated some other additional information. So we're ready to start getting the word out about our wins and about what we've got planned over the next few months. Unless there are any questions, that's planning and marketing.
All right, hearing none.
Thank you very much.
So as you can hear, we've had a busy time. I think there's a lot more to do, but I do want to thank everyone here on the staff, especially our board, for the support, because we can't do it if you're not supported. And you have given us a lot of ability to do that. You've gotten things that were not talked about that were very hard to negotiate. PERF, all of us have PERF now, and that is the first time there's been a strong retirement program in this organization. We also did all of the retroactive payments that we were behind on. Our contract is now signed for the union. There's still some things we need to negotiate, but on the retroactive, we needed to get certain things done so that we can make sure we can do that retroactive pay. Those checks have been cut and cashed. So there's still some things that we're looking at, but again, we're moving forward. So I wanted to say thank you, and I turn it over to my president.
I'd like to have a motion to accept the reports.
I move that we accept the reports as presented.
I second.
It's been moved and properly second that we accept the reports as presented. It's been moved and properly second that we accept the reports as given. Are there any questions? Any discussion to the motion? There being none, roll call.
President Hewlett,
Yes.
Secretary Goffin,
Yes.
Member Ruby,
Yes.
Member Robinson,
Yes.
Member McKenzie.
Yes.
That's 5 yeses.
The motion is approved. Before we go on, I would like to say, from the board to the staff of GPTC, we know what you're being paid, and it's not up to the standards of every other transportation company, but we continue to push on, strive on, and I don't see anybody, I'm quite sure somebody is complaining, but it doesn't prevent us from moving on as a company. We are passionate. And when I say we, the board is passionate and the staff is even more passionate because we are pushing through and we're doing things that was not expected of us to do. And I am so grateful and I'm thankful to serve as the chairman of this board to such loyal employees. Thank you so very much. I know you want the money, but we're trying, we're working on it. HR will be meeting and we're gonna see where we can find some money. Yes, ma'am.
And just thank you for that so much. The important thing that you heard too, another important thing in the blending of the aging money, when we first started looking at that, there were lots of dollars all over the place, like from 2016, 2018, that we just hadn't put together. And that's when you heard Mr. Wright say, all of the aging money is now consolidated. So where we came in a little nervous that we might lose something, we lost nothing. And now we have it split out in a way for the best time for us is that, yes, there's a lot of money for your fleet, but we now have money for operations. And that's where the pay comes in. We now have some money that we can use in operations. So we are really excited about that. And that's a very important step in just what you said, making sure that not just the people that are here, but the ability to market here for talent. And we've got to be market ready to do that. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, we will move on. Old business is item number 6. I need a motion to table that too.
Madam Chair, I move that we table the approval of the procurement manual until our executive session, which has already been scheduled.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second that we table item number 6 until after our next executive session, which will be September 18th. Any discussion, any questions about that particular motion? There being none, roll call.
President Hewlett,
Yes.
Secretary Goffin,
Yes.
Member Ruby,
Yes.
Member Robinson,
Yes.
Member McKenzie.
Yes.
That's 5 yeses.
Motion approved. This matter will be tabled until next month. Item number 7, new business.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Next month or September 18th?
No, it'll be tabled to next month because we're only going to discuss it. We can't vote on it
Very good.
officially until the meeting.
Thank you.
Okay.
Just want to verify.
Okay, thank you. New business? There being none, we'll move to public comments. Yes, sir. You have 2 minutes.
Yes, I am a citizen of Gary, Indiana, and I had the most unsuccessfully experienced in catching a bus in 96 degrees weather. I was left out on Locust and Montgomery near the beach for one dispatch told me a bus will be coming. Well, when I got off the bus, they said 38 minutes after the hour, a bus will be coming. I was out at that stop at 2:15 to catch the 2:38 bus, which never showed. I called the dispatch and spoke with several different people. They said a bus will be there. Now be mindful, from 2:15 till 4 o'clock, she told me. And I'm still in the 96 degree weather, no bus showed. I called back, she told me, someone at dispatch, that a bus would be coming at 6 o'clock in the evening. And that bus did not arrive at that stop to pick me up until 6:10. I called, is Mr. Rowley available? Is Mr. Rowley here?
Yes,
I
Mr.
am
Robinson.
the man who spoke with Mr. Rowley, trying to get clarity with Mr. Rowley, and Mr. Rowley professionally hung the phone up on me, and I didn't get indignant with him. I worked out there under Mr. Denny many years ago, and I know how the operation goes. And all I was trying to get was clarity, and I filed a complaint, and I didn't hear a word from it since. And then a second time on US 30s in Broadway, we were just spread out there about 2 or 3 weeks ago for several hours waiting on the bus. And there were several senior citizens and handicapped was waiting on the bus there on Broadway there. And no bus showed for maybe an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes. So we need to work on these matters, please. I just wanted to address them to you all so we could work on that. And if Mr. Rowley could be a little more passionate as you speak of, when people call him over the phone and don't hang up on me like he did that time. And I was speaking on the phone to him, like I'm speaking to you all, trying to get clarity. That's all I was trying to do. And he was not there with me at all. And I did file a complaint as well, and it didn't go anywhere because I never heard anything from him.
Okay. I'll talk with you after the meeting.
Thank you, sir. Very much.
Mr. Come on.
Hey, I had a couple of things. This is what I forgot to mention at the last. What can you hear Gary Transit to improve the fare box? Because a lot of fare boxes don't work on the buses. I rode with Leslie on the shuttle, US 30 shuttle coming from the mall today. The fare box wasn't working. She had to have a bag to take the money, put the money in.
Okay, the fare box issue, Mr. Burton reported this month and last month. The fare boxes should be in operation by the end of this month. We've had problems with the software, but we have the boxes, but they are working on it and well aware of it. Okay, so yeah, they're working on that. It's right now, it's a software and a computer issue. So we are working on it. We're gonna have it repaired, preferably before the next meeting. Okay, thank you. Adjourn.
Will the meeting be adjourned?
Go move, Vicky.
This meeting is adjourned at 6:35.
My wife gonna be surprised.
What'd you say? What'd you say?
My wife gonna be surprised to see me.
And you go straight
Where you
home.
coming from?
Go straight home.
Now, see, you get this.